Consider this dismaying observation.
Hello and welcome back to the nerdiest place on earth. Today I have a bit of a different one-off review, unboxing and review, if you will. As I've mentioned before, in case you didn't know, I do have ADHD. And just mid to late last year, in the fall, I believe it was, a company called ANSI Labs came up with what ended up being a very successful Kickstarter campaign for a thing called the Fidget Cube. Now, by now, I think you've probably seen these somewhere online. Unfortunately, either they didn't get their legal ducks in a row, or they're so focused on shipping these things out for the Kickstarter backers that they haven't been able to crack down on it yet. But there are companies selling these things, even in stores, that are not ANSI Labs. So there are people who threw these things together, counterfeit ones, just based on the videos and release information from ANSI Labs. And those are not actual Fidget Cubes. So this is the actual Fidget Cube from ANSI Labs. I was a Kickstarter backer. I just got mine. So I wanted to do a little unboxing and review for you. Fidget Cube, or fidget toys, things to help fidget, for those who need to fidget in order to help them focus. That's very useful for someone with ADHD. I will put a link in the description to a video from a channel called How to ADHD about fidget toys. It's an excellent channel, excellent resource for anyone who has ADHD or has a loved one with ADHD. So anyway, when this thing came out, I was very excited about it. Went ahead and became a backer. I got two of them, one for my wife. My wife is a special needs teacher, so she's going to make some use of hers in the classroom. So when it comes, it's in this clear case wrapped in bubble wrap. And I'll let the camera focus on that sticker so you can see. It says, "This bubble wrap kept your Fidget Cube safe on its journey to you. Take a moment to treat yourself and pop a few." Don't mind if I do. Alright, let's get the bubble wrap off. Okay, so it appears that it was intended to be stuck to the bottom with like an adhesive, but somehow on the journey it's come loose, so it's kind of rolling loose in here. The packaging is very nice looking. It looks great. I love the little switch on top, because there's a switch on one side of the Fidget Cube, which we'll get to in a minute. It looks like the one side that's sort of flat like a worry stone is probably where it should have been stuck to the case. Don't know if this is a widespread issue with them rolling around, but I also don't see any markings or any damage whatsoever, so hopefully it's a non-issue. I'm going to get these stickers off. Oh, you can see it says Fidget Cube by ANSI Labs. If it's from any other company, and if you bought it in a store, or if you bought it online, but it's from some other company, it's not a Fidget Cube. It is a counterfeit. It's a knockoff. It's just a cheap, thrown together hunk of plastic that is not going to be comparable to this. I know that's probably the second time I've said it. I may say it again before this review's over, because it drives me nuts that these companies would do this. Just blatantly rip someone else's product off. Scumbags. Alright. So in here, got little arrows and text pointing you to the different features. Kind of cute. Yeah, so there's still some adhesive on there. It's just not very sticky anymore. And that's all that's left in the box. It comes with this little carrying case, which is very nice. Oh, and a Fidget Cube sticker. Alright, so the reason why this thing took off so well on Kickstarter, among those looking for fidget toys, is because it incorporates so many features in one. So, if you want to click a switch, you've got that side. If you want to just rub like a worry stone, silent, good for meetings. There's a rotary wheel or jog dial here. It goes either way. There's a joystick, which is nice. It stays flat on the surface of the Fidget Cube. You see, there's this side, which is 5 different buttons. So, on this side we have 5 little buttons. These outside ones right here are nice. They have a nice, satisfying tactile click to them. It's very nice, but also makes a noise. So, if you're in a setting where that's not good, these 2 other outside ones are silent. And the one in the middle is a mixture of the two. So it still gives you a click and still makes a little bit of a noise, but not as loud and not as hard of a click as the other 2. And then last but not least, there's a little ball here. You can just roll it around. It's sort of free floating in there. And these dials, which are like a combination lock kind of thing. So all kinds of things that you can do. Oh, and this little ball can be clicked in as well. So, oh, I also forgot to mention on the switch side, if you just keep your thumb on it and rock it back and forth, it doesn't make any noise. So that's another good option for quiet times. You know, if you're in church or in a meeting at work, or you're just at work and the person next to you can't stand the sound of a pen clicking or things like that, and then you have silent options. So, very cool, feels very solid, has satisfying weight to it without being unwieldy. Not something I would mind having in my pocket. It's good size, everything feels solid. All in all, I think it's definitely worth it, worth the price. I was a Kickstarter backer, so I don't recall exactly what the retail price is going to be once they're available on the website. I think you can pre-order them now. Oh, 130. Okay, so the Fidget Cubes are currently available for pre-order on the ANSI Labs website, which I'll put a link to in the description. And right now, if you pre-order, it's $22. And you can choose from a certain selection of colors. This was just the Kickstarter color theme, so you won't be able to get this exact color scheme. And it looks like it'll go up to $25 at some point. So right now it's $3 off for $22. I also went ahead and added what's called Prism. So it's like a silicone jacket and keychain that can attach to the Fidget Cube, which I thought was a nice touch, and I don't recall how much it was to add this. Alright, so the Prism is $3.99 if you want to go ahead and order those. Once again, it has to be through the ANSI Labs website. Oh, it's like I tore the box a little bit. Okay. It's nice. It's a pretty good thickness for the silicone. I don't think that'll tear very easily. It's already getting lint on it, but yeah, such is life with something like this. Yeah, this metal chain feels solid enough for, for the price you pay. Let me put it in here and see what it looks like. Okay. Well, there it is. I was just testing out the functions to make sure everything still works fine with the little case, I guess you could call it, on here, the little protection, what they call the Prism. So if you hold it right, it's hard to do it with one hand while showing it to the camera, but you can still do that without making noise. It doesn't inhibit the joystick in any way. I can still push the buttons in. Worry Stone side still works well. Everything works great. So I personally like this option. If you don't, it's an add-on. It's not. It's only $3.99. So if you think you might want to try it, it's not a huge investment. So all in all, I really like this Fidget Cube. I think it's an excellent option for someone who, in order to really focus, needs to be, some people chew on pen caps, some people are clicking a pen, some people are tapping their toes or, doing a drum beat on their desk, and for most people anyway, if they really need to do that to focus, then they probably don't realize they're doing it when they're doing it most of the time. And for those people, I think this is an excellent, excellent product. Came later than it should have, but the team at ANSI Labs was very communicative and forthcoming with any delays well in advance. So I definitely am not going to fault them for that. They've been great about communication. And they've had a lot on their hands. So I really, really love this thing. We'll see how reliable it is or how well it holds up after a lot of use, but that is one of the things they tested for, but we shall see. So upon my initial review, if that changes dramatically, I'll post an update later. But my initial review is, I'm going to go with an A+ for the Fidget Cube. I'm going to go with a B+ for the packaging. I would have preferred some way for this thing to hold the Fidget Cube in place so it wasn't rattling around against the inside of a hard plastic case. But mine came through unscathed. So, that shouldn't be a problem. Hopefully it won't be a problem for yours if you get one. But the adhesiveness isn't very good. So, I like the packaging. I love the idea. The design of the packaging itself is fantastic. It looks like a little Fidget Cube. It's got the little switch molded on top there. Just the way that the Fidget Cube was held in the packaging was my only complaint. So overall, I'll give this Fidget Cube an A+. I think the team over at ANSI Labs did a great job designing this thing. I'm so glad someone thought to make this. Someone had this idea and saw it through to fruition, because this thing is fantastic and hopefully will help me focus more. So that's all I've got for you today. We'll see you later.